Good evening, everyone. This is the late evening of Tuesday, the 16th day of December 2025. You see, anytime I am saying this, people don't understand where I'm coming from. If I tell you that Nigeria is going to hell, I really mean it. I published a video that was yesterday, and I was talking about the armed men that the military arrested carrying AK-47. And they confessed that the Kwara State Government gave them the AK-47. So the whole investigation started since yesterday, and this evening, Kwara State Government has come out to deny that they never, give these people AK-47. And Kwara State Government confirmed that Ribadu gave these people AK-47. Wait a minute. I'm going to link it to somewhere. Just stay with me. Ribadu gave these people AK-47 rifles to be patrolling. Who are they? They said they are Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah. Ribadu, Kwara State Government said Ribadu gave AK-47 to Miyetti Allah to be patrolling. There is no law in Nigeria that permits anyone to have AK-47, including the vigilante. So Ribadu, National Security Advisor, armed Miyetti Allah groups to be patrolling and killing people, to be invading churches or what? In Kwara State? What is the mission? What is the mission of... Wait, look at the jargon they are speaking is too much. They said they are Miyetti Allah in a Ribadu security patrol. Jesus. I understand Nigeria very well, but I don't know that Nigeria has gotten up to this point. I don't know that the Islamization agenda in Nigeria has gotten up to this point. That Ribadu, a national security advisor that knows the law, gave AK-47 rifles to civilians to go and start killing people. This is serious. That is what Kwara State Government are saying, because the armed people, the terrorists I call them, who were caught with AK-47 yesterday, I show you the video, right? Even though YouTube flagged it, okay? That is against the community guideline because of the way they tied their hand, they naked them and all those things. But you saw what happened. I don't want to repeat the video again because they will still, flag this particular video if I put the clip for you to see. But what I'm trying to say is that those people confess that it was Kwara State Government. Kwara State Government is not clarifying that it was Ribadu. Now, first and first, 2 months ago today is 16th of December, right? 2 months ago today, NSA Ribadu came to Chinese television and he made a statement and he said, I quote, Tinubu is paying terrorists, Tinubu is paying bandits through the Office of the National Security Advisor. I want you to pay attention. I told you that nobody confronts Ribadu. Nobody even come out to say what you are saying is not true. Everybody, shh. Why? Because Ribadu was saying the truth. Tinubu is paying terrorists through the office of the NSA. That was the allegation made by Ribadu. And the presidency now, they are afraid to come out to say, hey, Tinubu is lying. Ribadu is lying. After 2 days, Ribadu made a statement. Babadati Ahmed, Babadati Ahmed is one kind, fearless person. He don't look face if he's talking. He came the same channel television to say, Tinubu is paying terrorists through the Office of the National Security Advisor. And yesterday, they caught Miyetti Allah terrorist organization. They caught them with AK-47, bloody civilians who just want to destroy lives. And they are linking them now to the Office of the National Security Advisor. If this is the kind of Nigeria you people want to build, I'm not part of it. Where the government sponsors terrorists to kill the people, who is monitoring the activities? Why must Ribadu give them AK-47? If it is in a developed country, Ribadu will resign this evening. Ribadu will resign this evening for arming terrorists with AK-47. Ribadu armed terrorists with AK-47. Ribadu should resign. Ribadu should resign. No, this is not like, it's not comprehensible. Like, how can you understand this? All right. Before you watch the video of NSA Ribadu or Babadati Ahmed, I will embed any of their video in this clip so that you will hear when they were saying that Tinubu was paying terrorists through the office of the NSA, that they have made it a policy. Do you know the meaning of policy? Policy is what you do consistently. They made it a policy to be paying the terrorists. Pay attention. Now, this is the article from NSA Reporters that they published this evening. It says, Kwara State confirms arrested men are Miyetti Allah members in federal security operation. Not police, not anybody. Miyetti Allah security members in federal. These are jihadists put into the society to promote Islamization. Nothing like Miyetti Allah security, federal security operation. And I must say it the way it is. The leader of Miyetti Allah group was arrested and he was charged for treason for accepting that Miyetti Allah groups carried out killings in Nigeria. Waiting 48 hours, they leave him. They leave him. But then Nnamdi Kanu that they never saw weapon with is still in detention. They sent him to prison. After convicting him, they took him to Sokoto Caliphate. Everything is bent on Sharia Islamization in Nigeria. If they get all these terrorists, they forgive them. But when they get you that doesn't sympathize with them, you will see the kind of law you will be imagining, is this Nigerian law? They will even sentence you, you will think that this is a Sharia law. They will use blasphemy, you say. They will sentence you to death for what you said. We have to be very careful. Now, the Kwara State Government has clarified that the armed men recently apprehended by soldiers in the state, initially believed to be bandits, are members of the Miyetti Allah participating in a federal security operation coordinated through the Office of the National Security Advisor. The clarification comes in the wake of the public concern following reports by NSA Reporters that the Nigerian soldiers intercepted a group of armed individuals carrying AK-47 rifles while patrolling in a security vehicle in Ife-Lodun local government area. The suspects claim that they were sponsored by the Sowore government, a development that sparked public anger and renewed fears over insecurity in the state. So our reporters had earlier reported that residents strongly oppose an alleged plan by the National Security Advisor Nnamdi Ribadu to deploy armed Fulani herders, popularly known as Bororos, to combat banditry in Kwara State. Ribadu, why? These Bororo Fulanis are not Nigerians. Why are you using the Bororo Fulani that Buhari and Tinubu's coalition imported into Nigeria? Why are you using them? These people will continue to kill and to kill. These people are not security operative. Why did you give them AK-47? Ribadu have to resign now. In fact, whether you resign or not, the system is not what, dying for, emulating for. This system must be destroyed. And this system must be destroyed. Nigeria is not sustainable with all these things, government sponsoring terrorists. Now, the plan was said to involve the arming of non-state actors with AK-47 rifles under a controversial security framework. This is Islamization. How can you arm non-state actors with AK-47? You arm Miyetti Allah with AK-47. The Miyetti Allah that attempted to assassinate Benue governor. The Miyetti Allah that vowed that they are going to Islamize Nigeria. You arm them with AK-47. No. Now, both the Kwara State Government and Miyetti Allah initially denied any agreement involving the arming of herders or collaboration with bandits. However, fresh clarification by the state officials have now linked the arrested men to a joint security initiative coordinated by the federal government following bandit attacks in the area. Speaking on Informant 247, Ibrahim Abdul Latif, Senior Special Assistant on Communication to the Kwara State Governor, confirmed that the arrested individuals were members of the Miyetti Allah who were incorporated into a joint task force style arrangement following the September 29 attacks in the Ife-Lodun local government area. This is a bullshit. This is a bullshit, a deception, a takia. Yes, government armed these terrorists, but they want to defend them. First of all, there is no law that gives Ribadu power to arm non-state actors who are not Nigerians to start carrying gun. Ribadu, are you like this? Oh my goodness. Erofai was right. Babadati Ahmed was right that Tinubu is using you to pay terrorists. God forbid that. According to him, the Office of the National Security Advisor coordinated a security response involving recognized security officers alongside local vigilante and members of the Miyetti Allah. Under their security setup, they are used both recognized officers and AJTF, which includes members of the Miyetti Allah and a local vigilante network. Abdul Latif said, in a bid to empower security forces, a patrol vehicle was provided through the local government chairman. He added that after completing their assignment, the men allegedly absconded with the patrol van and were promptly reported to security operatives with AK-47. So these are the arrangements I'm talking about. They are now defending the Miyetti Allah who are carrying AK-47, as they have been doing right from Buhari's time. Tinubu told us that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped, and I'm not surprised about this. How many people have these people killed? Who was supervising them? They were arrested with AK-47 and nobody was with them. Patrolling, stealing, killing, abducting. Come on. This is a very, distracting story. Nigeria government is a terrorist government. There is no doubt about this.
We, the ordinary citizens, have no option. The whole world will take it that, yes, the Uncle Tinubu government, so-called federal government of Nigeria, has a policy of paying bandits and terrorists. The history I narrated to you of collecting donations from all over the world by somebody who specialized in collecting donations. Do we really have a government if somebody who sold Nigeria's assets for 4 years at BPE, served as FCT minister for 4 years and served as governor, would say that there's a national policy of paying bandits? Do we have a government? Am I a citizen? Are you a citizen? Does Nigeria exist? Or do a pack of people live in a certain territory with another group of people claiming to misrule them? Do we have a government? Do we have a nation? What are we doing? Are people understanding the gravity of this statement? Do we even have an office of a national security advisor? A national policy is official position of government, an official declaration that this is what we shall be constitutionally doing, what we shall be legally pursuing. That's what we call a national policy. It is made public, it is celebrated, it is broadcast to the whole world. Was such a thing held? Why did Nasir say it? If the office, so-called Office of National Security Advisor, will take this statement with levity, then Nuhu Ribadu was never a policeman. He is not a qualified lawyer. He should not be in that office.
What would you say he should be doing? His office has reacted to this.
That is not a reaction.
If you were at the NSA, what would you be doing?
And Nasir should be writing some comments by now, some statements to the police, to the courts. If the position of Nigeria, the so-called APC government of Uncle Tinubu, if their official position is to be compensating bandits, paying bandits, then we don't have a nation.
So your inference tonight is that whatever Malam Nasir has said in that respect, which we play back,
yes,
it is not true. The government of the day should be taken more seriously.
Yes, and so long as it passes by with the so-called, what you call reaction of the answer, then it is true. And I tend to agree that it could be true.
But if for example, I was going to ask
before this one,
yeah,
another almost 8-year governor of Bororo State said that there are informants of terrorists in the Nigerian military and among Nigerian politicians, and it is official. You have the evidence. Before then, there was another politician who again said that bandits and terrorists were brought into Nigeria pre-2015 election. These are even small ones. Do you remember? Now, what I'm about to say and my arguments are that insecurity is part of APC. Insecurity has been APC's way of getting power. Insecurity has been part of APC's way of staying in power.
Is that fact or just your opinion?
That is my candid, firm opinion that is being strengthened by the kind of unfortunate comments like that of Nasiru.
So,
2 days ago.
But there are no facts to what you're saying.
There are
no facts to what you're saying.
There are facts.
If there are opinions, how would you say a government of the day is part of their life or living is insecurity?
That I'm giving you the facts. Now I have clearly given you 3 statements of politicians, government functionaries that are undisputed. I have given you this. Go back in time. Do you remember that a former Nigerian president was attacked by terrorists? Unprecedented, never in the history of Nigeria did that happen. Do you also remember that I made a passing statement on that in 2022, which, as usual, people didn't take seriously? Why did some young men in the forest in the northeast, what business do they have? When Nigerian leaders leave, they are liked, they are loved, they are forgiven all their errors and everything. This one, they followed and tried to kill him. Why did that happen? What happened in all the donations leading up to 2015? Why decide to come back and run in 2015 after crying and telling the whole world you're no longer convinced? What was the link with North Africa? What was the link with Muammar Gaddafi? He's not alive, but others are alive to say it.
You are from Kaduna State, Senator.
This is Shehu.
Oh.
And I'm in so much pain. Believe me. Nigeria is a great country, it should be a great country, and we have people destroying us by the hour. Insecurity has been part of APC's game. And Nasiru is saying it, and I think he's right. The government has been paying them.
Well, you don't
Last year, this time, I have facts.
No, the government has said no, they are not paying them.
They are paying them because the reaction of ONSA is not disputing what Nasiru has said.
You are inferring that the NSA should arrest Nasiru
No, I'm not interested.
or collect his statement. But if that happens, there are those in opposition that will say they are going after opposition voices.
There are more ways to counter such opposition. I told you about 2015. You see, going after a former Nigerian president, trying to kill him. What does that tell you? Something. Before that, what had happened? After Jonathan won in the Supreme Court, they called for dialogue, and those young men nominated a former Nigerian president who took 3 days to repudiate. After those 3 days, go and plot the graph. You will see that between 2012 to 2014, the spikes of attacks around those villages in the northeast skyrocketed because hunger, lack of medicine. Why? Because somebody had stopped sending the recurrent expenses of those people who used to come all the way to Kaduna, collect and then go back, and that's how the cycle went. In protest as to why did you call that name, they couldn't bear it anymore and felt by 2014 the best thing was to go and attempt. It failed. We're lucky. They got Jonathan scared. He thought that, if they kill this man, Nigeria will burn. They provided him with additional cars, more money, and it was all about money. It was all about collecting money. The truth is that somebody had gone to North Africa, negotiated with Gaddafi. Gaddafi, who is was an international terrorist, all over the world, from the far west to the far east, said, I will help you, like I've been doing. I heard there are some young men. There are plans to kill Gaddafi, not in a palace coup, but through uprising. If it fails and you become president, I will retire to your country if you become president. If it doesn't fail, right now, he wanted to create a buffer. So he sent Saif al-Islam, go on YouTube and find out, to Niger with money, cash, millions of dollars in his boots, to recruit Tuaregs to go and fight in Libya. Sent his former general to Mali, why you still have insecurity in Mali. In Nigeria, they give crazy amount of money to that gentleman. Go and help these people with the intention of bringing them to fight in Libya. When Gaddafi died, they sat on the money. They kept on with the recurrent until after mentioning the name, and then they stopped sending the money. They became, now, all these things are linked. They wanted Nigeria to burn if Buhari did not become president in 2015. 2015, I contested alongside Buhari for Senate. I contested for Senate in 2011. You have it on YouTube. He said, blood, soaked in blood, the baboon and the... Ever since he made that comment, I refused to go and campaign with Buhari. Refused completely. It didn't matter if I lost the Senate seat. I won it eventually. Insecure for a former president to say, you soak in blood. And then there was, Kaduna is my state. There was serious violence in Kaduna. Many houses were burnt. Emir's houses in Ongwansarki, Demna Abba had their houses burnt and all that, simply because of a statement. They went and brought in people from those neighboring places in readiness to remove Jonathan by all means. So the desperation of people to get Jonathan out of power has built up and added to what we call insecurity in Nigeria today.
So you're inferring that all what we have seen over the last few years as insecurity is orchestrated?
Of course.
And it's political?
Of course. Last year around this time.
This narrative.
Last year around this time. Whatever I tell you, I'll try to give you evidence. Last year around this time, we were just negotiating the release of our own nephew. And when he came out, what he said is not much different from what Nasir El-Rufai is saying. They complained that, and this young man is alive. He could come here tomorrow and you interview him. He's alive now in Zaria. He's alive. That, look, they are not making much money relying on these handouts from government. Each time they go out to operate, they make more money, like handouts in their hand. We kept negotiating. He's alive and he can come to this and sit with you, Shehu Akimbaloyi, and you interview him. This is a fact. But my grudge with Nasru's statements is that he was part and parcel of APC from 2013. Like he told you, he was one of the architects of it all. All of a sudden, to come and absolve himself and call others. No, Nasiru is part and parcel of all that has been going on. We suffered, we are victims of Nasiru's misrule in Zaria. Go back December 2015, when a war was supposed to have been won in the Northeast. What business, what military and strategic business did an army chief have to come to Zaria for a convocation, not of NDA, graduation of recruits, privates, choosing to follow the route where the Shiites were holding? All these things were orchestrated. They knew the exact hour, the exact minute that he was coming to pass, because they had the technology. And 800 people were killed because they wanted to raise down the temple that was built. These things were carefully doctored and orchestrated.
These are heavy allegations that you are making, and which one will imagine? One will imagine someone of your status in the society. Yeah. Why are you just saying this? Why are you saying this? Does it amount to a political gimmick, or no? What exactly are you up to with this?
Shawan, I've been saying it. I said it in your own program. I mentioned the link about North Africa. In your own program, go back and check. Play the archives and see. Wherever I spoke, I linked electoral fraud with insecurity, corruption and insecurity. I have always done this.
I'm worried, actually, with some of the things that you are saying. But what is at the heart of all of this is that people are being killed. And the government is saying innocent soldiers are also losing, and the security operatives are losing their lives. The question is, where do we go from here? How do we stop this cycle? If you say they are political in nature, for the sake of God, how do we stop this cycle of killings?
Only when you have the right leaders. You can only have the right leaders when you have them truly elected. So long as people will steal an election, so long as people will capture a nation, you will never have security. Most important, most drastic, most horrific is that when that group of people use the tools of insecurity like we have seen in 2015, and it worked, and they achieved what they wanted. And again, they use now, for example, the tools of religion, ethnicity, division within political parties, heavy use of money, security, constitutional abuses and breaches. The law means nothing. It is just what one individual decides. Irrespective of what the law says, you have to go and change the law to what suits that individual. There cannot be security. Not just peace, there cannot be security. Now let's go back. The purpose of being together in a nation is that you must be secured by whoever is leading you. If you're not secured, you're living in hell. You're not in a nation. Like we're almost there now. If that is the purpose, and you have someone who served as 8 years as a governor in one of the federating units, to come and say that it's a policy of the government to reward, because pay is reward, to reward terrorists and criminals. And the history of these people who have been in power, including the governor who said it, is that it is consistent with what he claims now to be doing. And that government is still ongoing. They still have another 2 years to go. We, the ordinary citizens, have no option. The whole world will take it that, yes, the Uncle Tinubu government, so-called federal government of Nigeria, has a policy of paying bandits and terrorists. The history I narrated to you of collecting donations from all over the world by somebody who specialized in collecting donations, by somebody whose entire political game, presidential contest, was because there was no way to sustain the ecosystem around him. They have to contest elections every 4 years. So even after 2011, they must contest elections, especially with the kind of money that people of like the same Erifai was bringing to contest. There can be no security for us ordinary citizens of Nigeria so long as you have electoral heist, underwritten, guaranteed by the kind of money and fraud that is taking place now. One single contract of 15 trillion naira extra, if I say judiciously, extra legally awarded. You cannot, you and I ordinary citizens will continue to live in a country that is close to hell, because it is close to hell. Last year, our family got together and rescued one of our nephews. Every day, you like to ask for evidence. The evidence is with you people in the every day. Villages and villagers are sacked from their villages, killed, carted away. Human beings are traded on the commodity like bags of rice that we like talking about. The standard price of human life now is out there. And you have a so-called government that are basking in the fact that they stole 2023 elections, and again that no one can stop them from taking 2027 again. Before then they go and remove the Northeast and the Northwest from the Federation and allow the other units to go on their own. I will come back to that in some other setting. There is no peace, there is no security for us living in close to hell. So long as these people are worshipped, continue to be worshipped by sycophants, telling them what they are doing is right. They are buying politicians who are jumping ship to join APC and give them the falsehood that they are doing well. There will be no security in it. It will continue to fail. Right. They are getting closer to Abuja. They are getting closer and closer and closer to Abuja. This insecurity we're talking about. So long as the president the so-called president is aloof with the realities on ground and has a so-called vice president who has been reduced to just going for wedding ceremonies, burial ceremonies. In the situation that Nigeria is, look, it is easier for the federal government of Nigeria now to send a whole vice president to go for condolence visits and wedding ceremonies than when 200 people are killed in the villages in Katsina. 52 were killed 2 days ago. He didn't go. But
we're totally out of time.
I know,